Hello again, my name is Patrick Gabaldon. I'm an artist here from El Paso, Texas, born and raised. I'm coming to you from beautiful downtown El Paso, Texas, not even probably a mile from the border. And I'm here to read to you my very first my very first book that I wrote and illustrated in 2019. It's titled Desert Blue, and it was written the next 3 days after August 3rd of 2019. Like most El Pasoans, I was struggling emotionally and being just in a bad spot, right? Like a lot of us were, especially those that were personally affected. My heart still goes out to all of you out there. And I was having a hard time just kind of processing what had happened and what was going on. And I had been working on a book. Not really. It was kind of just more some illustrations that kind of worked or communicated together. And after the events of August 3rd, I had a new intentionality with the book, or the book idea. And I sat down one day, I think it was 3 days after, and wrote out 90% of the book, illustrated 90% of the book. And it really helped me communicate what I was feeling. And so the point of the book is to remind each other, remind myself that we are strong here in El Paso. We're strong here on the border. We are beautiful and resilient and tough. And although we experience heartbreak and loss and failure and all sorts of really bad things in this world, we can come out of it together. We can still bloom beautifully, because that's what we do and that's what we've always done. So this book is titled Desert Blue. And again, it's written and illustrated by myself. Eventually we're gonna make a Spanish language version. I have a friend of mine who's a teacher at Franklin High School, and she's translated it. We just haven't made them yet. So being the person that I am, as soon as I illustrated and wrote the book, I wanted to have a copy of it in my hand. So instead of going through a long process of getting all sorts of things kind of done, which I didn't really know how to do, I just went ahead and had some friends of mine locally that are graphic designers and printers help me put together a version, and we just printed it and said, hey, well, I want people to read it, so what I care about most is making it, and we went ahead and made it quick. So we weren't able to make the bilingual and the Spanish language copies first, so we went with the English version. But hopefully soon we'll have the others. And you can ignore my dogs in the background barking. Or not, that's Larry. Larry and Samantha. And Puppy. So the title of the book is Desert Blue, written and illustrated by myself. It is dedicated to those forever lost, changed, and taken on August 3rd, 2019, to the people of the border and to my wife, Monica. That's the first illustration here. So the book follows the life of a agave cactus here in the desert. Page 1. In the desert sun lives the color blue. If you squint your eyes, you'll notice her hue. Blue as the sky so high up above. She lives in the desert, forgotten by some. Blue grows despite the burn, and in a place where others avoid, she breathes new life, given by the sun. And if you focus your eyes on the brown desert sand, you'll see others like blue, in a communion so grand. In a place unnoticed, in a desert so brown, blue as the ocean, piercing the ground. You can see all these little blue agave everywhere, poking out of the desert. And I think the same is true if you start looking around town. You'll start noticing all these other cactuses growing out of all sorts of places they probably shouldn't be growing. Back to the book. So like you and like me, she began to stretch in the bright yellow sun, her heart set free. So she made it her intention to stretch higher than the eye can see. So she set out her plan to bloom and stand, a blue tower of life in the brown hot sand. And as she grew, her bite grew too, pointy, prickly, jagged, and new. See her little teeth there? So when you see them, if you're on a walk, don't get too close. And days turned into weeks, and the sun turned up the heat. Then right on time, the monsoon came. He brought the thunder, the wind, the gray sky, and the rain. We have a big picture here of the rain clouds in the desert. And when the storm had passed and all the rain was gone, blue stretched yet again towards the sun. Higher and higher and higher. And higher. And it hadn't rained for weeks, not a storm cloud in sight. Still she persisted and stretched with all her might. She grew in the sun and bloomed brightly too, a slow burst of color, perfecting her hue. She's kind of grown past the pages here. And like the slow rising sun, she grew in her beauty. And did you know that blue isn't just some plant alone in the sand? She is the mountain spirit, alive in our borderland. And I'll let you in on a little secret if you promise to live it, breathe it, and keep it. Her blooming beauty is me and it's you. Bold, beautiful, resilient, and true. One community nestled in the sand, filled with warmth and pride few understand. We stand tall in our beauty, hand in hand, together. The end. And you can hear my chihuahua in the background. So thanks for sitting with me and reading this book of mine. I hope you liked it. And I hope that you keep reading, find some other books in your life that can help you transport to another world. I hope that happened today with this book. Again, it's titled Desert Blue by myself, Patrick Gabaldon, written and illustrated in 2019. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'll see you later. Bye.